I never plan when I'm going to do these. Fix my light. All right, well, hey, it's Happy New Year. Wrong, it's New Year's Eve. And I'm just sitting here having some late night coffee. And late night. Not late night. Late in the day for coffee, though. Anyway. Oh, Happy New Year to those of you who are in other countries, in other time zones, where it already is tomorrow. But here in Phoenix, we have a few hours. Hey, Jim Johnson, Happy New Year. How's it going? Are you working on the holiday? Probably. I don't ever, well, sorry, I'm babbling now. I don't go out on the holidays like this anymore. It's for young people. Oh, good. I'm happy you are not working because I think between like 12:05 and 1 o'clock is when like all the drunk drivers are out because everyone is wasted. Not everyone, but usually once the new year comes in, everyone just goes home. Party's over. I don't know. Dangerous on the roads. So I thought I'd just come on and chit chat with anybody who's at home. I feel sad. Am I sad? No, I'm disappointed, but I'm not sad. Oh, back to work on the 4th. Excellent. I go back to work, gross, on the 5th or the 6th, whatever's the Monday. I think it's the 5th. I'm disappointed because Social Security lost, misplaced, did my file wrong. What? Huh? So I did not start getting my Social Security widow benefits, which means I have to go back to work. And I don't want to. So I have to work, in order to survive, I have to work 80% of what I usually do. 4 days a week, and I'll still have some extra money. Or 3 days, and I have to dip into my savings. And I don't want to dip into my long-term savings. Your oldest brought home a boyfriend. Oh my God, dish on that. I have the tea. Actually, it's coffee. How old is your daughter? How old is this boyfriend? What is up with that? Mr. Root Bar. Yes, it's Grandma. Come on in. Grandma does not have any cookies for you today. Because she ate them all. Because that's how she is. Yep. I'm just sitting here in the dark. Because the lighting is better like this. Listening to the fireworks. I live in Phoenix. There's all kinds of fireworks going off from private use. A little bit scary because we live in the desert. Hopefully no one will start a fire. But also, it's very stressful on pets because of their extreme hearing. So the cats are a little bit stressed. So I gave the cats some stuff. Hello, Gage Perez. Name a Mexican for an edit. Brian Prado. I don't know what that means. Name a Mexican for an edit. George Lopez? Benjamin Brett. No, Benjamin Brett is not Mexican. He's Mayan. Is that exotic? I could say any name. It could be Mexican. Jose Alvarado? Yeah, you didn't specify what kind of Mexican. Jorge Mendoza, Guadalupe. Just same words. Mucky Leopard Barrel. What do you think happens when we die? Oh, wow, Stuart. Oh, no! He's 16. Sorry, I got to get back to James here. When my daughter's on a rare occasion to bring a boy home, I would ask the boy, will you take a punch to the throat for my daughter? And if he just looked at me, that wasn't good. You should automatically take a punch to the throat for your woman. Thank you. Candy Hobbs, how's it going? Yam, what's going on? Some of you guys sound very familiar. I haven't been on for a while because it's been interesting the last week with the holidays and just me and my wife. And I think there was a little engagement ring. Hey, man, I'm short on cash. Put the hand. This is my left hand. You can put a ring on there. It won't mean anything. Send me the ring so I can pawn it. That's a joke. Don't do that. Oh my God, he's a thug type guy. All right, well, hopefully you, just be careful. Not be careful. I hope your daughter. I don't know. I have no advice right now for the dating situation between two 16-year-olds. Just I speak with 3 daughters and no grandchildren. And I don't have any sons, so I have to worry about unknown grandchildren that are just habitating in the world without me knowing about them. So, well, good luck with that. Thank you. James Johnson, me and my oldest daughter's boyfriend had a standoff because he smokes cigarettes. Oh, gosh. Smoking. Well, disrespecting the household rules is is a red flag. And, yeah, that's not good. And then smoking to begin with, that's even, like, what? And I'm just saying, you might be a smoker. I cannot remember. Mr. James Johnson. Mr. Jimmy John. But smoking, don't do that. It'll kill you. Why do you think they had to invent vapes? They had to come out with something else that would make kids addicted. Because if you use cigarettes properly, it'll kill you. So the attrition rate, every year a whole bunch of people die from tobacco. You gotta hook a whole bunch of new people. Just saying. But yeah, that's not cool that he broke your rules. Yep. Mucky, Love, Egbert. I don't know what that means. What do you think, Stuart? All right, Stuart, what do you think happens when you die? When we die? I don't think anything happens. I think you just die, and that's that. With whatever your self-awareness is. But what happens with your body is pretty cool. Even if you get embalmed, eventually all the matter that makes up your body, which is mostly water, which is also matter, right, will eventually get reused and used to create new things. Think of the Circle of Life from The Lion King. But if you are struggling with that, if you are sad and lonely and you're struggling with having no focus or purpose in life, as an atheist, I'm saying to you, maybe religion is something you should look into. A lot of people find comfort in, people who are lost or lonely or don't have a community or family. Find a chill religion and become a Quaker. Quakers are cool. Quaker religion. Give you a sense of purpose, give you something to focus on in your life, give you some kind of answers as to what's going to happen later. Oh, yeah, the Camel cigarettes. All right, yeah, well, if you're going to smoke a cigarette, you might as well smoke. Wait, Camel Red, did those have filters? Just joking. I just remember growing up, all the cigarettes, they didn't have filters on them. So that really discouraged young people from smoking because you take your first puff off of a real cigarette and it is disturbingly strong. Then they came out with filters, then they came out with low tar, and then now they have the weaker cigarettes. The first thing I ever smoked was a cigar that had already been smoked from my uncle, and I didn't know you're not supposed to inhale a cigar, and I promptly threw up, and that kind of turned me off from smoking. Thank you. Candy Hobbs, I'm doing okay. I'm having I'm just disappointed because I thought my Social Security widow benefits were going to start in December. And they're not. They lost the whole application. The whole thing is gone. It's just gone. It's missing. It's a whole story, but it's gone. And for once, it's not my fault. Their fault, but I don't know if the YouTube algorithm talks to these government algorithms, so I'm kind of afraid to talk about it. Anyway, so I have to go back on the 25th and do the application over again in person. And there is no reason at all for me to not be approved because I was definitely married for more than a year. My husband has died, and I am single. And I'm 60 years old, so I will get the benefits. It's just that now, instead of working a luxurious 2 days a week, actually 1 day a week, to just cover my bills. Now I have to work 3 or 4 days a week. That's all right. Oh, my wife called. Okay, very good. Well, good. I'm happy that your wife is taking control of the situation. You got to be pretty strict. Kids are, your brain doesn't even stop growing until you're 25, 16. Well, you're a man. You know what's going on in your head when you're 16. That's been scientifically proven. That's when men, are urged biologically and chemically to pass on their DNA to the future generation. So you gotta be careful. And if they're making bad choices like smoking, smoking's one of the hardest addictions to get over. Smoking, pyromania, not just a song by Def Leppard, and out of your traditional wholesome drugs just from plants, any of your opioids. Now they got all kinds of crazy stuff. Who's they? So my day's going all right. I got frozen today with my ADHD because, and I don't know if anyone know what I'm talking about, but if you have ADHD and you get too overwhelmed, you just get frozen and you can't do anything. So what I usually do is I crochet. Crochet is excellent for stimming too, because it's a repetitive movement. That's why I like it so much. I just saw a whole video on that. I was like, wait a minute, it describes me. But it's not that I don't want to work, it's that it's very difficult for me to work all day long without my legs really swelling up. Because I have edema, and it's very, very, very tiring. So yeah. You had your 6-shooter on your hip. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I live in Phoenix, and every now and then I think, should I be better protected in my house? But it's all right. It's okay. I think for my situation, not having any children, and I live I have children. They're all grown up, and they don't live with me. I lost my train of thought. What? Most of the crime where I live is, just in Metro Phoenix here. I live in the Alhambra part of Phoenix, which is one of our designated villages because the city's so huge. Most of the crime that happens is between the hours of midnight and 6 o'clock. And it's usually with I'm going to call them street people because I don't want to mix them up with respectable homeless people who are just otherwise housed, or people who work graveyard shifts and stuff, like the drug addicts out there, just with the drug addicts, and if you are, or for people who unfortunately live with domestic violence in their house. I fortunately have never had to experience growing up domestic violence. I had some with my first marriage, and that was unpleasant. But easy. Oi, oi, oi. Hey, things going on. Oi. Yeah, anyway, so if you don't do drugs, you're not walking around at night wearing all black, riding a bicycle, you're not going to get hit by a car. There's people getting hit by a car on their bicycles, like, I shouldn't laugh, like once a week. I ride a bicycle, not as much as lately, as usual, because I've been borrowing a car. But I wear a helmet. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of babbling here. Domestic violence takes two. Yeah, you're right. It takes the person doing it and the person getting it. Sometimes it's a whole spectrum, like everything else. Sometimes you're like, oh, what? You're just like the victim. You're like, what the, what? And it just depends on your situation. So, like, if you're dating, that first instance, domestic violence, you got to book out of there. You got to get out. Got to get out, because if you stay, then you are. I'm going to say you are complicit. So, not everybody is strong. Not everybody is able to just get out of a bad situation. Or you fall for that wasn't me, that was the alcohol. Hey, the first time you get drunk and you're a jerk, then don't drink anymore. So I don't believe in that either. Oh, thank you. Oh, my. AZZE check. You sound like an abuser, controlling person, a dark triad. That's not good. Yeah. Thank you. I just finished making this. I'll show it to you. This is I say it's beginner friendly. It takes a little bit more effort than just being. Oh, what? I didn't realize it was you. Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year. I'm repeating myself. I told him you look dumb, but I hope you aren't stupid and keep your gun hidden. He has a Glock 18. Oh my God. People walk around with their gun. All right, well, he's got a Glock 18. But would he still take a punch to the throat for your daughter? All right. So yeah, this is my sweater that I made. And then one of the girls did want it. So now it's mine. And I just have to finish it. I have to finish the sleeve. How beautiful this yarn is, though. I want to talk more to this guy who thinks domestic violence and the victim provoking it. Are you Russian by any chance? Just joking. I'm sorry if there's any Russians watching. Russian men are just a little bit, in Russian culture, it's just a little bit different than American culture. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I have this one, and I have another one, but I don't know where it's at. So, I set a goal for myself, which was doable if I would not have had a fibro, my LJUC, chronic fatigue flare, where I slept for like a week. It's like having COVID, just sleeping all the time. So I finished 3 sweaters. They're not finished. I say finished because this part is done, but I have to finish doing the detailing, which won't take that long. Oh, thank you for my skin tone. And I hope you had a good Christmas. I spent Christmas with my family. Oh my God! I turned the light off by accident. Sorry, I meant to turn it up a little bit. I wish I could walk around with the lighting like this. Makes my skin look so good. So I'm on here complaining about my disappointment with Social Security Administration. Now, if you have anything to do with Social Security, I went to the district office. It's too late now. It's too late. Should have gone today. There's some kind of deadline. That place was packed. I waited in line for maybe an hour, not too long, for a government office to make an appointment in 4 weeks to redo my application that they lost. It was not my fault. So a lot of times it's my fault. This is not my fault this time. And that just goes to show that everything in my life is always just a little bit annoying. But this is costing me money. I don't like that. Absolutely. If you are walking around with if you are armed with anything, really with a gun, you should not pull that gun out unless you are ready to use it. Seriously, if you're going to shoot, you better shoot to do some business. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Does your daughter have a weapon? I mean, I'm just saying. He's 16. Is he allowed to? Is he legally permitted at the age of 16 to have a weapon? I know where you live. It's probably pretty common. Everyone has hunting stuff, but I don't think you should. I don't think you go hunting with a Glock, right? I don't know. All the states are different. And then there's culture, I know the first time I saw a gun safe, I was like, what the heck is that? I thought it was an old-timey safe from like a bank or something. Like, oh my God, is it filled with money? No, just guns, rifles for hunting. Serial number scratched. Oh my God. Mr. Johnson, you got it. You know what? You have to escort him to the door, and then you need to. This is not. This would not pass the fire code. Then you got to lock your daughter in the house. Got to put some bars on the window so she can get a breeze. You got to put some safety bars, and like they do in countries that have a lot of domestic terrorism. Put up those security bars. Put a tracker. Oh, you can put a tracker in your daughter's ear or on her phone. You need some spyware on her phone. That's serious, man. He has a serial number scratched off. That's not good. That's not good. What if he commits a crime and your daughter's with him? She commits the same crime. Oh, but then you're in that situation where he is probably so cool and so attractive to your daughter. I'm not making fun of your daughter, a little bit. I love him, Daddy. I love him. But he seems like a criminal or a criminal in training. But that scratched off serial number is pretty scary. Because you don't know, one, if that gun's been used before and he just picked it up off the street for free. And he gets what? Yeah. Yes. You take him by the scruff of the neck. He seems like a skinny guy. Okay, now I'm being mean. Seems like a skinny little dude that needs to have a Glock when he's 16. Okay, I'm sorry. Whatever. Pick him up by the scruff of the neck, and kick him out of the house, and then you gotta be strict with your daughter. Seriously, because kids don't understand that. If you're with someone who's committing a crime, you're in the back seat, and your friend takes you to the Piggly Wiggly. Somewhere someone watching knows what a Piggly Wiggly is. It's a grocery store. And or the gas station, the 7-Eleven. And they go in, they rob the 7-Eleven, they get in the car and they leave. The person in the back seat getting a ride is going down for that robbery. That's not good. That's a dangerous situation. Yeah. Yeah. You got to take your daughter over to grandma's house and let her live in the house with the dirt floor. Did I say that at all right? Wrong accent? Anyway. So, that's how I got rid of my first husband. Because he cheated on me one time, and I was like, oh, okay, you don't want to be married, so I left him promptly. Because one time, I'm going back to the domestic violence guy, who sounds like a perpetrator. That's scary. Scary. And then he was like stalking me. He's like, I'm going to come to your house. I'm like, you know what? You come to the house, I'll shoot you right in the face. Because I'm Italian American. This is when I lived in Ohio. Whatever. Now I'm pretty chill. Now I identify more as a Phoenician. Just joking. No one in Phoenix is Phoenician. So, he was like, you would really shoot me? I'm like, yeah, I would. Don't threaten me. I'm 5 feet tall. And at the time, I was a buff bodybuilder, so I was about 130 solid muscle. I looked pretty good. And then he was 5'10", 240, solid muscle, all roided up and insane. I didn't know steroids were drugs back then. Oh, to be young and stupid, but still think you know everything. Oh, those were the days. Anyway, I was like, yeah, you're a big guy, man. I'd have to shoot you a couple times. With my 22, you got to do the whole... Sorry. Anyway, I didn't have a weapon. At that time, I would not have been able to use a weapon, but he believed me and he stopped bothering me. So, it worked. Oh, now, when, if you've been married to someone, whatever, and unless you're this is not like one of those crime novels or whatever, in like a real life situation, and your significant other is going through some drama, and all of a sudden, they have a change in personality because they're depressed or they're going through something. Sometimes you don't have... like schizophrenia. Some mental health conditions don't really pop up until your mid-20s, which is terrifying. So if that happens, then, you have to be a little bit more forgiving. So, like, after my husband had his first surgery for brain cancer, works. All right, all the cats are with me because they're terrified by all these booms. You okay? Hurting their little ears. After he had his first surgery for brain cancer, he did have a personality change, and thank goodness he did not become a jerk, because sometimes that happens. He did have a personality change, and there wasn't any domestic violence, but he raised his voice to me. What? And I was not accustomed to that at all. I think it was after 10 years of marriage? I can't remember. But if he would have done something then I would have been like, let's go to therapy and stuff, because, you know, that was a biological response anyway. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. I wish this guy would come back, the Takes Two guy. Oh, I just saw this. Guess who broke in later that night? Man, he's a criminal. Oh my God, James John. Is your daughter a criminal too? Gotta save her. Life is rough. Life is, as someone who does not have a criminal record, but has, as a teacher here in Phoenix, substitute teacher, a lot of the kids have parents who have criminal records. And I can say also, as a former property manager, you don't want to have any felonies, because that messes up your housing. It's very easy to slip into the life of chaos and drama, but you got to nip that in the bud. Get a restraining. I mean, I don't know if you're going to do appellation justice on him, and I've never had to do a restraining order. I don't know. He broke into your house this year. Yeah, man, you better watch out, otherwise you're going to be calling me son-in-law. Oh my God. Wow, that's stressful. At least mine is just stressful with money. And here's the thing. I have money. I've lived my whole entire life with never having any savings. And in fact, I had two kinds of savings. I had short-term savings, which I've used up. And I have my long-term savings. And it's not a lot of money. But to me, it is. To me, it is. To me. And it's in a certificate of deposit, and I don't want to break it. So I'm trying to figure out what's the most I can work without breaking into that money. I have no assets left. Any jewelry I had, already pawned years ago. Anything valuable has already been sold. I don't have a car. I have my bike. I'm not selling my bike. I could sell my bike for $1,000. And I could sell the batteries for $500 each. Well, probably $400 each. Batteries are expensive for an electric bike, but I don't want to do that. And I could probably borrow money from my kid. I know I could borrow money from my kids, but then I don't want to pay it back. So what am I saying? So my stress is because I just don't want to break into that savings. It's hard when you get older, because then I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to be able to work in the future more. It's not like, oh, if I take off some time, I'll get better. No, I'm just going to be like this. It's just going to get worse. So any money that you lose as an older person, it's really hard to get back. When you're young, you're like, just work, work extra, work some double shift. I can't do that anymore. I can't do it. So, oh my gosh, it takes two, the person get. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm going to drink my coffee here. Okay, so thank you for my thumbs up, and please comment in the chat anything you want. I am here for you and for me. I'm here for you. If you just need someone to talk to, I know it's kind of a bummer on the holidays if you don't have family, or even if you're like me, I would prefer not to do anything. I like being at home, but sometimes it's still, I need some dopamine. I need someone to talk to. And then if you are someone who doesn't have community or family or something, and then the holidays just kind of rubs it in your face. Oh, you're all by yourself? I grab my double barrel shotgun with Boise broken in. One of the boys he broken in is Miss. my God. James Johnson, man. Your wife's a lucky woman. She's got a real man. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Our culture's very weird because we've got. I'm not going to read your comments. I'm probably going to have to edit that out. If I ever post this as a live stream, I've gotten away from doing that. No, we've really embraced this whole culture of you don't need a man to raise your kids. Well, you don't need money to be happy, but no, I'm saying let me say it better. Kids need both parents, and you don't. Something tragically happens. Like if my husband died, he died. What are you gonna do? My kids were 9, 11, and 13. Our kids were 9, 11, and 13 when he died, and I didn't get remarried, and why do you have to fix the carpet? You got to put plastic down first. That's a joke. I'm implying that you did something and the carpet got stained. I hope that nothing happened. Oh my God, I first saw the first episode for free here on YouTube of Dexter, the beginning. Pretty good. Maybe I'll watch it on Showtime. I'm saying that because Dexter's a serial killer and he has this kill room where he puts on all the plastic. He gets all the liquids and stuff so you don't leave anything behind. Just saying. Yeah. Okay, can you please give me a shout out, please, please, please? Amir, I'm going to say your names wrong. Okay, Amir Mansour? Amir Mansour. Happy New Year to you. I'm sure it's the new year. I'm sure it's 2025. You sound like you're from India, Pakistan, other places. I don't know. Yeah. I hope you're going to have a wonderful year. And try not to dwell in the past. I do that too much. Don't look behind you. Look forward to the future. Make good choices if you can. Happy New Year Happy New Year to you too. And let's see. Hi, did you listen to Quran? When I first read that, I thought it said Duran Duran, which was a popular group when music videos first came out, but that's not my name. Do I listen or read? Well, I can't read in Arabic, obviously, because I don't even speak it. No, I am an atheist. I was raised Roman Catholic, and as I've gotten older and the things I've gone through, I believe more in physics. Here's how I explain it to kids who get freaked out when I say that, because I'm a teacher. I'm like, what's this happening? You don't believe in Jesus? I believe in physics. I believe in the universe and all that was created. And if you think of God, God is the universe, right? In the heavens, the stars. So I think of God and physics as the same thing. Now, the rest of the stuff, I don't believe in it, but I'm just saying. Me and my wife graduated here before. Oh, how nice. Okay. Oh, thank you for the hearts, and thank you for me. Did I say it right? Thank you. All right. Joe R., Happy New Year to you in Houston, Texas. I want to say who shot JR, but that's Dallas. Oh, that is a flashback. I will not listen to the crowd. I'm sorry, I'm not going to. I don't want to. I'm just going to let you know now. I'm not going to, and nothing that I read will change my mind. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm just saying. I appreciate your thoughtfulness in wanting to share your personal belief, and that is obviously, is extremely important to you. So I do thank you for offering that to me, and I will decline your offer. So, yeah. Yes, thank you. Happy New Year. I am hoping 2025 goes a little bit smoother than 2024. Since Social Security lost my application, and it was not my fault this time. A lot of times it's my fault. last thing they said to me was, "Oh, just be patient; it'll go through." And then I go and they're like, "Oh, you just do it all over again." I'm like, "Oh my god! All right." So confusing because okay, have a nice day, have a nice day. Ah, thank you, Mohammed Kabaha. Mohammed Kabaha. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you. That's a fake smile. Gotta do better. Oh, it is so noisy here with all the fireworks going off. It's gonna be like this all night. It's kind of nice. If I had kids, little kids or grandkids or whatever, I could literally just stand in the parking lot of my very small apartment complex and just stand and look around. That's how many fireworks there are. Don't even have to drive anywhere. Oh, you and your wife met in high school. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Okay. 10th period. I had my boyfriend in high school, and he was in a different grade than I was. I usually didn't date anyone I went to school with, but you're from a small part of the small, so you probably have to. Oh my god, I just got a headache. Sometimes it happens. All of a sudden I'll get a headache. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Oh my god. Oh yeah, some lady suggested this supplement that I bought. I took one time. I'm not cured, but I'm going to continue. I'm going to do a better job taking my supplements too in 2025. It's black cumin seed oil supplement for fibromyalgia. So whoever suggested this, I did buy it. Thank you. The person who told me my hair looks like it's from the 80s, I did cut my hair. Does it look better? I'm sorry. It's just like it's really poofy. I can't help it. Okay. So, sorry. It's just so many fireworks. My neighbor went out. He set off like 3 fireworks, and none of them worked. They just made the noise. So we got ripped off. And, yeah. So, all right. Someone comment something so I have something to talk about before. Okay, wait, you graduated in 04. I graduated in 82. And I graduated before all the standardized testing for school, which has really affected our educational system. Plus, there's too many peoples. There's way too many people. And, standardized testing. Oh, school used to be so much easier. You just do your work. Don't have to worry about a big test at the end of the year. My son asked me 2 questions about that. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. When did you graduate? Okay. Kinka Zylia. I'm sorry, I destroyed your name. I can't even guess what that nationality is or ethnicity. I graduated in high school in 1982, and I graduated college in 1987. And because that last school year, that 5th school year, one class. I had to take one class, and it was only offered in the spring. No, in the fall. So I went into the fall, and then I went to a private Jesuit university. And a Jesuit is a Roman Catholic priest. And their order is in education, and they are also the priests that came over, the order of priests that came over with the Spanish conquistadors in the United States, and they did all the translating of, or the historical notes in our early history here in the New World, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and they only graduated, okay, I told someone to say when you get older. James Johnson, that is cryptic, and I do not understand what you mean by your last comment. So I'm going to have to go back and read up here. Okay. Oh, the 9/11. Oh, 9/11. I do remember 9/11. We had just moved here to Phoenix, Arizona from Ohio. Took my husband, who I wonder why he was depressed, because he would go to the doctor every month, and every month they would say, yeah, you know what, you're probably going to be dead in 5 years. Why would he be depressed? No, you're never going to get better. It's going to kill you. Anyway, so we moved here because my life was supposed to be different. That's a story for another day. We moved here to be closer to his doctor at Barrows Neurological Institute, and also to his sister, who was more like his mother, who were in real estate. That's a whole story. Very disappointing. So we moved here, and then I just got my real estate license, and then 9/11 happened. Notice how I talk about it's just about me, but it was a very stressful year, and it was just really weird. And my husband saw both of the planes on the news, and I thought he was having a seizure. So it was right after his pre-surgery, and I thought, is he seeing something again? Because he would see stuff. You country. Oh, I am here in Phoenix, Arizona, the United States. Or I just found out USA is what some of the Scandinavians call the United States. I love that. I live in USA. What country are you from? I'm just very curious. Oh, thank you. BD Suman, thank you. Yeah, and 9/11 was very, very confusing because, Americans, well, anybody here in the New World, pretty much we live in the comfort of not really having to worry about any kind of bombs or any kind of military strikes just because of geography. So it was very shocking when that happened because we never had a terrorist attack like that before. We had domestic terrorism when they blew up the Oklahoma City federal building, but that was a domestic terrorist. That was a sovereign citizen. And so 9/11 was very, very scary for the country because it was very confusing to people. And then because we weren't sure if it was a country, probably not. And it was just terrorists from whatever country, I'm not going to say, because I don't know for sure. And then that's just led to years and years of war. And and that was because, there's oh, thank you, Smith Miller. Thank you. You have a good night and have a good New Year. Thanks for being here. Because it's terrifying. I can see why your wife would have a change of behavior. That's very scary. I can't, because you're on the East Coast. I mean, we were all the way over here in Phoenix. I'm just saying, very scary. I couldn't even really process it because I was under such a significant amount of stress. I didn't watch the news things. I just read just a little tiny bit, of how horrifying it was. And then, then when you find out it's a terrorist attack, that's kind of even scarier because you can't really negotiate with terrorists. You can negotiate with other countries. And this was closer, to go back in time, it hadn't been that long since Ireland stopped blowing each other up, and now you have North Ireland and Ireland, and one is still part of Britain, and one isn't. So one is Protestant, one is Catholic, and they were fighting over religion, and the terrorists were attacking us because they were the very smaller militant Muslim religious belief to unalive Christians. That's a smaller group, and most Muslims are very loving and peace loving and don't feel that way, but unfortunately it makes it so that you think that all Muslims are. It's just like people think all Christians are the same, but they are very, very different. Ask any Christian who thinks Catholics are Christian. What are you talking about? Catholics started the whole religion. We were first. How many how many slaves do you own? I don't own any slaves. Thank you. Am I from the plantation? I think you're confused. Phoenix is not in the south. Phoenix is in the west, the southwest. we are west of Texas. We're the wild, wild west. We're the West. The West. Like most Americans have never really seen Native Americans walking around. And I live in Phoenix. You see them all over the place, just walking around, living their life, doing their stuff like people do. We're the West. So if you think I'm from the South, that's wrong. My people came over in 1900, so we were really post all slave and owning and stuff. So are you trying to? Oh my God! I wish I had acres of land. Wouldn't it be lovely? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me look at this. I had to put my face closer so I could see. What college did you go to? I went to John Carroll University in University Heights, Ohio, and I did not know that you could rename a city. So the university got there, and they said, "Let's just change this whole city, change the name to University." It's on the east side of the Cleveland metropolitan area, and it's right next to Shaker, Beechwood. Shaker is yeah. A lot of people died in 9/11. It was very tragic. Yep. Okay, but go. Wait, what was I saying? Hi, you're looking. I do look like Indira Gandhi. I'm sorry. I don't think. I'm not saying that. Other people from India have said that. I think it's the hair, and yeah, and yeah, she was a pretty impressive woman from the limited knowledge I have on India. Like all countries, history is very complicated, especially in countries that are older than the United States. We're only a couple hundred years old. Before that, we were part of Britain, so don't complain to us about Americans being just like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so Shaker Heights was named after the Shaker religion that did not believe in procreation, so they died out. And then Beechwood, why am I saying that? Oh, it's a very big Jewish neighborhood. And then it had a Jesuit university right there. And yeah. And I was able to go there because my mom worked there. And employees had free tuition at the university they worked at. And teachers or professors had free tuition at any Jesuit university, which was pretty cool. So that's how I was able to go to college. So thank you to my deceased mother who, whatever. I did not like her. So Fred Red 50. How many on my plantation? Oh, okay. You've obviously come to the stream late because I was just complaining about how I don't have any money. If I had land, it'd be different. So, yeah, it was a Jesuit university, but because it was a Jesuit university, it did not have a religious requirement. Some universities, like Brigham Young, you have to practice your religion while you're there as part of your as part of your requirement for going to the school. It's not like that at a Jesuit university or high schools. Man, they're really going off the fireworks. I'm not even watching because they're all over the place. It's not in just one place. So by the time you can, I don't care. All right, thank you, Kali. You wrote something, and I'm going to say that looks Arabic. To this day, I will not. Yeah. You can. James Johnson just saying you won't forget 9/11. I mean, some of us actually saw it. Like I saw it on the news. I saw the second plane. It was on live TV. My husband saw the replay of the first one. And I was like, that's got to be wrong because you can't fly. Airplanes, there's traffic lanes up in the sky, just like in the ocean. There's traffic lanes in the ocean for those. People don't just fly all over the place. So that was just really shocking. So, yeah. But Jesus Christ is God. Oh, Juan, how are you again? So, yeah, when you're young, yeah. Yep, it's amazing the things that stick with you uh, that do not affect you on a personal level, didn't affect you personally, but it still was very influential on your life. So that was yeah. So I'm not sure what you wrote in Arabic. My son-in-law's not here, so he can't read it. Thank you. My son-in-law is, I used to say this wrong. He is Hispanic on his mom's side, Puerto Rican and Cuban, but he is not Hispanic culturally because she left the family. His family's from Lebanon, but they were Palestinian refugees that went to Lebanon. So he's not really, so he's Lebanese by, um, he's first generation American. He's Lebanese because that's the country he's from, but he's from Palestine, which, of course, is no longer a country. Yeah. Well, that was good. That was a good day for current events, right? How terrifying, though. Because for 9/11, like, we didn't know, it's very scary because we're like, crap, here's the World War III. Are we going to institute the draft again? I mean, we already have selective service. So here in the United States, when boys become men, and I forget what age, I'm pretty sure it's 18, then you register, and that's in case they have to call up the draft. They already have everyone's names. And women in the United States do not have to do compulsory pre-registering or any kind of military service, which is not the case in a lot of other countries where the women are also required to serve in the armed forces. And yeah, I'm trying to think of some other things that happened in my life that I have to think about it. James Johnson, yep, 18. Okay. Oh, someone. Let's see my eyes. They're brown, and they look very bright because the light is reflecting on them. Oh, newbie. No, it's not that kind of strain. You can stay if you want. Please like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. And then, but it's not that kind of strain. I'm an old lady. Some things are better left unseen. Excuse me. I know he did mean eyes. I like to play with people and their little silliness. So I will say I have a new bra on. How exciting, right? I was going to put that as my thing, but Mrs. Huffman gets a new bra. It's the nicest bra I've ever had. $16 on Amazon. It's nice and soft. I did have to put something crocheted under the tag. It's got a little tiny, tiny thing that's just irritating. And part of my neurodivergence is cannot wear certain fabrics. There's only certain things I can wear. Like I can wear this fabric. That's why I wear this a lot. Long sleeves. I don't even own a long sleeve. No, I have one long sleeve thing. It's my crochet jacket. I'm pointing at it. It's over there. Other than that, I don't have any long sleeve shirts. I can't even. And this I can wear only because the yarn is super soft and it's not very heavy. Thank you. This is natural. And my hair's really coming in nice and it's coming in black. The last time I grew this out was during COVID, and this was just all white. And now some of the black is coming in, so I don't know. What about the one behind you? Oh, this is, thank you. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to stand up. You can look if you want. It might be unpleasant. Just joking. All right. Okay. Oh, I tripped. Okay. This is a blanket I made. This took a really long time. And because of all the weaving. If I had to do it all over again, I would just put all the strands on one side and I wouldn't have woven it, but whatever. Okay, so the hat up there is a hat that I made for Juan, who's on here. It came out bad, so now sometimes I wear it as a bonnet. Oh, hello, Chevy Square body game. I want to say Chewy Square, but it's a Chevy. Okay, So this and this are the same thing, or the same pattern. This is my daughter's. So I made 2 of these. What the heck is it? Okay, here it is. So I made 2 of these, but I made it nicer because it's for my daughters. And so I put a border up here. Oh, I might be chubby because you have a nice, thank you, Kelly. No, not Kelly. Thank you, first name, last name. I am chubby. Thank you for saying that. I am fat. And it is very frustrating. But this happens as you get older. I used to be a bodybuilder. So I lived my life up until about 10 years ago, until I turned 50. Just being in really, really good shape. And then menopause, antidepressants not only make you hold weight, hold water weight, but it changes your metabolism. I have a slow thyroid. I could lose 10 pounds, but I'd have to eat about 850 calories a day. I can't do it. It's too much. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Caroline's. Guys love the jiggling. Well, I don't like the jiggling. I have a distinct memory when I was in college. When I used to take the bus, and nothing on my body moved. Stand on the bus, nothing moved. And then later on, when I got on a public bus again, when I was older, where was I? Was I at school? Was I on a field trip? And things were shaking. I was like, what the hell? It's very sad. Anyway, so this is the same pattern. It's the same brand of yarn, which is a variegated yarn, and it changes color. So it's really nice because it's an easy stitch to do. It's just a granny, it's a variation on a granny square. So it's not so heavy, doesn't use as much yarn. So instead of 3 stitches, you do 1 stitch and then a little chain and then another stitch. And then I have to seam this up. This is just a, can't remember what it's called. This is just a holding stitch, just to hold it in place. And then this is how I seamed it, like this. So you can barely see the seam. Where's that? You can barely see the seam because on this, there's the same colors. And then it becomes reversible. So I have this, and then this one I made. Oh, you have a son who was in the military. That was nice. Have you heard That Summer by Garth Brooks? Okay, but I'm sorry. Kelly, who? Caroline is 25. How nice. I think my youngest son-in-law is 25. I vaguely remember 25. I had 1 child, and it was before I had hypothyroidism, before I was tired. Death has an appointment here. It's just quite a bit. I call it a granny fishnet. Yeah, it's like a granny fishnet. You're right. I'm going to make another one, and it's going to have just 1 stitch. I mean, just 1 double crochet. So it would be 2 single crochets, a double crochet, 2 single crochets, go to the next opening, and it'll be a stretchy net. And that's just to make it more lightweight. Excuse me. To make it more lightweight. Because I bought loops and thread. I'm so irritated. I should have returned it. I'm really bad at returning things. I bought this brand from Loops and Thread, which is this brand too. It's a Michael's store brand. And it just doesn't have enough twist to it. So when I'm crocheting, I'm constantly pulling. It's so irritating. Okay, so Death, one of mine, what a CARZN son did my 7 of my only son. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I don't understand what you're saying, but if your son served in the if your son was in the service, good for him. It's a good career for a lot of people. There's a guy who does Mandatory Fun Day. I like him a lot. Provide a lot of insight into my father, who was in World War II, in the most decorated division of World War II, the 43rd Armored Division. It was my dad. He was in that. Are you 45? No, but thank you. I am 60. I'm 60. 60. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. And when I shake my head, I can feel my hair curl, my hair in the back. It's weird. It's weird. It's just weird. I don't like saying that number. It's just a weird 60. You think it's bad when you turn 30? It's not. When you turn 40? Nothing. Please. Please. Nothing. 50? It's still okay. 60? Okay, now you're old. Okay, at 55, I could buy in retirement community. I don't have any money, so I didn't buy anything in the retirement community. Plus, what if one of my kids needs to live with me? You can't have any minors with you. They're not minors anymore. Oh, Cody, thank you. Happy New Year, yay! It's New Year somewhere. What time is it here? 10 o'clock, Happy New Year. It's only 10 o'clock here in Phoenix. But Happy New Year, yay! If you make New Year's resolutions, don't make them too difficult. Don't make things that are going to be something you're not going to succeed at. Like, I'm going to go to the gym every day. No, you're not. I'm going to go to the gym once a week. And if you can get to the gym and start off slow, go to the gym, walk around, get a drink of water, wash your hands, and then leave. Get to the gym, even if you can't work out. You got to start slow to build a new habit. Says a person who doesn't do anything consistently. Yay! Marwan, I remember you because you have that cool little graph. I don't know what the hell that's. What is that called? What's that called? Coffee's going to me. I think I said hell twice. Well, Death showed up. Did Death already leave? Okay. Thank you. My cousin's son. I can't spell cousin. Oh, cousin. I get you. Okay. Okay. Happy New Year. Thank you. I tell my girls my house is wheelchair accessible. They say, don't you mean exitable? First name, last name. Girls don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that you're going to damage their bodies during an activity that's supposed to be fun. You're not going to be able to walk tomorrow. Okay, well, no, thank you then. I don't want to hear that. I got stuff to do tomorrow. Oh. Thank you. I look 45. Thank you. It's because I'm in nice lighting. Thank you. I wish I could walk around with this camera, and I'm going to start with this light. And, yeah. Okay, cousin, I get it. Yeah. The unit you were talking about was segregated Asian American. Oh, the unit. Oh, 43rd, not 42nd. I thought it was the 4th. You know what? Here's the thing. The thing is that my father never liked talking about his experience in the war. Only on the very rare occasions when he was drunk, like on holidays. So I never really knew that until about 5 years ago. So whatever the armored division, I thought it was 43rd, and it was whoever fought in France, and I don't know how to say it right, all Italian Americans. So Italians went to France. The whole Asia. There's a book called The No-No Boy. You should read that if you want. It talks about the whole experience of the poor Japanese Americans that our government did some stuff to that was not cool. We call them, what do we call them? Relocation camps. We had our own concentration camps here in the United States. And I'm going to say something that's going to sound slightly racist. Sorry, black people. It wasn't for black people. What we did to you was worse. Because it was generational. This was just one generation of poor Japanese people just living their life, owning property. One day the government came in and said, hi, taking all your stuff, let's go move you into this horse stall. You can live where the horses used to live. Ooh, there's a TV show called The Terror, season 2, and it has, who played George Takei? There's a season that's based on that. I used to know more about it, but I don't. But yeah. So anyway, so thank you for telling me about the Asian American um, thing. So yeah, whatever it was, and my dad, um, yeah, I'd have to look at his stuff. But one of my nephews told me that. I was like, really? I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was my dad just never really talked about it. But yeah, my dad was in the Battle of the Bulge, and obviously he lived because he had kids. Oh, okay, wait. You ain't too old. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I'm right though on the number and not the most decorated. Oh, I just said that because my nephew told me that. Thank you for correcting me. I don't want to spread misinformation. But yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, my dad was the one who told me about the Windtalkers. And I used to think the Windtalkers were in his division, but I don't think they were. I think my dad just knew about them. And the Windtalkers were the Navajo soldiers who just spoke in Navajo, and the Germans could never crack the language. Pretty impressive, right? My dad did tell me that one time they were using the code from the day before, and they looked up and there were just the Germans coming over the hill. So this was somewhere in France, and they were like, "Oh my god!" So they had to book out of there. James Johnson, who lives in? Oh, he lives in a wheelchair. He lives in a double wide trailer I put on my property. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Wait, there are other. Do we use other Native American languages? Because wow, that's one reason why the Native American languages unfortunately died here in the United States is because the languages were really, really different from the European languages. It's really hard for Europeans to pick up the language. So the natives were like, oh, we'll just learn English or whatever, German, or whatever language, because there were Germany was there, Germany, France, Britain, whatever. It was here in the early days of our colonization. But oh, that's so interesting. I thought it was just Navajo. Who else? I'm sorry. So here's my question: was it Pacific Islanders languages that we use? Was it like okay? Oh, I don't think the Japanese were in hotels though. I wish I knew this guy's name. It's a book called The No No Boy, and I picked it up in Goodwill like years and years ago, and I read some of it. And there's a whole YouTube video with the author of the book, and he just talked about the challenges of being the choices for men who could serve in the military between the culture of being Japanese, being staying true to your because a lot of the Japanese were here to move back to Japan, and then there are a lot of like a lot of people they're here just to become American. Yeah. Aha. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. People living in horse stalls. I just know about that, and then just the abuse that you know that happened under all governments, including ours. And as a public school educator, we don't learn that in school because part of public education is to not be super patriotic, but to present to the students the positive parts of our government. And then as you get older, like maybe in high school, you can learn a little bit more, but then you have to really educate yourself on your own about the horrible things that our government has done in this name of everything's love in love and war, or everything's fair in love and war. Yeah, so it's not good. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That was a big thing. Was that there was a real concern that the Japanese that were living here were going to be or were spies for the country of Japan. And yeah, no, that was the threat. That was why they did it. Was that it was a huge concern, and I think they didn't do it with the Italians because I think the Japanese were more newer immigrants, and I think just culturally it was different. I know that because I'm Italian, I'm 98% Italian. Thank you for asking. So I know that like all the Italians were put together. Um, I have my dad's paperwork from World War II, and one day, probably never, maybe one of my kids will do it. Will upload his stuff. Like he has his diary that he kept for every day when he was, I think it was for every day, for when he served. But he has the roster, and everyone on his roster that was got called up to serve. Well, he wasn't drafted; he enlisted on the day they had to show up. Of course, it said don't show up drunk, and everyone was Italian. But they did that across the thing. Like blacks were with blacks, Italians with Italians. I'm sure German Americans were segregated also. But I think it was just primarily the Japanese that the government really thought that they were going to be spying, that they were active spies, and that's why they had to be segregated. You remember? Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, I agree with you. We were more afraid of saboteurs than espionage. Yeah, because you're a smart person. First name, last name. Thank you for talking to me about this. It's just interesting what you learn in school and what you learn from movies and just popular culture. Just kind of scrapes the surface. Maybe with some accuracy, and you just really have to do some grown-up reading and education from reliable sources. So you seem kind of reliable. Yeah, so like you could, maybe they weren't going to be a spy, like you said, and point out a saboteur, like they could be in a situation where, you know, I'll use a bad phrase, throw everyone under the bus, you know. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, because well, like as an Italian, and I just found out that I knew this word. I knew there's different brands, sorry, types of Jews. So there's the Anakaz. I can't say it right. But I'm the S Sephardic. I'm not a Sephardic Jew. I look like that. And a lot of Italians and Sephardic Jews look alike. I do have the classic one eyebrow. Thank you. I have successfully kind of groomed this down. But yeah, that's why. So yeah, now you got me thinking, man. Now I got to do some more reading. That's okay. I like learning stuff. YouTube is out 80% of everything I've learned about. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love YouTube because there's genuine documentaries on there. It's not like people are just making stuff up. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Why was your Christmas a living nightmare? That's not good. I'm sorry. Is that the day that that guy broke into your house? That's not nice. First name, last name. Do what you want to do, but it would be nice if you could subscribe. You don't even have to subscribe, but if you want to send me something, I have an email. If you go to my homepage, my profile page, whatever it's called, I have my email. It's called that.Michelle.ent at gmail.com. You can send me an email or put in a comment. Not here though, because sometimes I don't read these comments after. YouTube takes like a day to upload these, and usually I've kind of forgotten that I should look at it. But you can send me some suggested videos to listen to about World War II. That would be really interesting. And then, yeah, so my grandfather was in World War I. My dad was in World War II. My ex-brother-in-law, lovely man, finally escaped the nightmare that is my sister, was in Vietnam. My father-in-law was in Korea. And then I dated a guy who was in Pacific, what was it? Desert Storm. He was a jerk. Ah! Europa, The Last Great Battle. Thank you. I'm going to listen to that. Europa. Europa is also a good science fiction movie. Okay. He hates him because he's Italian. What did we ever do to you? There's a joke that Italians were forgiven for World War II because we have good food. I don't know what comedian said that. Yeah. Like, do you know Americans think that we won World War II? And I'm reading a book where I find out that Winston Churchill, who I know, I look confused because he's the reason why the World War II ended. I had no idea. Americans think we do everything. I'm going to have to look into that too. Oh, the greatest story ever told. Is the greatest story ever told, is that biblical? Maybe not. Every now and then I want to study the Roman Empire. Oh my God, but it takes so long because it was such a long empire. I'm sorry, James Johnson. What did the Italians have done to you? Okay, I know in Appalachia there was purposeful racism started by the man, the people who owned the mines, to pit the Irish, Scotch against the blacks so that they wouldn't be able to form a union. Oh, okay. Yeah, Italians were bad in Italy. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we did not learn that. It's never heard a bad word in my family about anyone who was left in Italy. Most of our family had moved here. But it's interesting when you're an immigrant that you identify with the positive part of your ethnic, your previous country, and not with the negative. Yeah, well, we had some relatives. Oh, but the one thing my dad said was our relatives who were still in Italy after World War II, the fascists moved to Argentina. There's no extradition. So yeah, we do have some, I forgot about that. We do have relatives in Argentina. Yeah, so. Yeah, I think, yes, well, was it Apple? I know they did, I know like in Cleveland, there was a real push to, you get this divide and conquer. So you didn't want people getting along, different ethnic groups getting along. See, like now, I'm just a white person, but I didn't identify as white until I was in college. I was identified as being Italian American. And not even Italian American, just Italian. And I'm third generation. And, you would know people by their ethnicity. So I had some friends that were Irish, I had friends that were Polish, I had a lot of friends that were Jews. They probably still are. And, but it was, the ethnic groups were just closer to their immigration roots, and I just really wanted to keep them separate to keep them from forming unions. James Johnson, how many black people are in Appalachia? James Johnson lives in Appalachia, that's why I was saying that. Yes. Oh, the greatest story ever told was, okay, all right, okay, because I've heard of that, so I always thought that was biblical. The Bible is a good read. Depending on what version you got. Because it's not copyrighted, you can write your own version if you want. I say it like that because some people are like, you have to follow this one Bible. That's the true Bible. No, not really. Oh, I cannot believe the consistency of the fireworks going on. So loud. And the cats so far are all good. I gave them some calm down. Okay, they're all with me. Some calm down pills. James Johnson, are you still here? Wait, so she doesn't like him because he's Italian, or she just doesn't like him and he happens to be Italian? A lot of people get that confused. Unless he's first generation. My, what was I going to say? I don't know. My uncle was in World War II also, my dad's best friend. And he had open brain surgery on the field. He had shrapnel in his head. And he was permanently disabled from that his whole life. And he lived a long time, maybe lived longer than my dad. He was never able to work because he had seizure disorder from that. But it did some interesting things, medical stuff. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought here because I still have this headache. Yeah, see, there's so much to World War. Thank you. Oh, you are. You know what? Now I'm gonna have to get back into, not get back. I'm gonna have to study up on World War II because as Americans we only really learn really about the German front, but there were the different front. Like Russia used to be our ally, and then when Russia, yeah, because they were so mean to Ukraine. Like, they starved out Ukraine during. No. I'm getting my time frames mixed up. Oh, sorry. It sounded like it was raining, but someone's setting off a firework. That's. Oh. But she's always drunk. Oh. Oh, walking around drunk all the time. That's not good. Literally not good for your body to just be drunk all the time. Pickles your brain. Yeah, World War II is just really, I'm sorry, very interesting, but just so many different things were happening at the same time. I saw a long time ago, there was a documentary, it was doctors, I think it was part of a series where doctors were diagnosing from historical records what they thought these individuals had. And one of them, they did one on Hitler, and they were pretty sure that Hitler had Parkinson's disease. And that is why, now I can't remember what front it was, but I'm sure you know, I'm not being sarcastic or mean, that part of the end that caused the fall for Hitler was that he had two different fronts going on, and he would not have done that. Like, he rushed his position. And I think because his Parkinson's was getting really bad. I just thought that was fascinating. I'll have to look that up too. I know. Yeah. I had no idea the Audubon was built because that was for the deployment of their military. And that thing is, I think it's, yes. See, I'm agreeing with you. I didn't even know what you were saying exactly, but I think it's because of that documentary. I said that I think I think their position was that he was ill and he pushed the war effort. Plus, there were a lot of people that were trying to kill him at the end, right? His own people? Oh my God, you probably were really good at a game called Risk. Did you ever play the game Risk? My brothers used to play that all the time. And they would take their sweet time playing it forever. Not forever, not in one sitting. Be on the dining room table and you were not allowed to touch it. Don't touch it! I was not allowed to play because I was a girl. Still a girl. I'm an old girl now. So there. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I guess we're fortunate here because of geography. You know, if we weren't so far away, could have been different. Could have been different. But oh, Ryan Honeyman, how's it going? Oh, I am just thought I'd pop on here and just spend some time. I've been off for about a week because of life. I'm looking at my foot just for you. That's a sock on it though, and I have a headache from the fireworks. Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a good Christmas. My Christmas was nice and calm. Not too much drama. There's always some kind of drama. And then your definition of drama, people have different types of drama. My drama was not anything too bad. Oh no, helpful review. Oh, okay. Okay. See, thank you. Thank you for educating me on that. Yeah. It's like a whole, I mean, I'm sure you could spend years studying World War II. You know, in public education, you only really learn about the parts, the different wars that happened that had to do with us becoming a free country, um, the Civil War, because that was shocking if you even think about it, that states left the Union. And then you don't really learn about any other wars. You learn a little bit about World War II because of the Holocaust. Um, I know in school they learn about World War One and World War II, and that's it. There's no other wars that they learn about, which you know. Oh, I was saying I. Wait, Ryan, are you the? I'm sorry. Maybe you're not the foot guy. Maybe you're the haircut guy. I'm sorry. Give myself a haircut again. Yeah, post-war character assassination. Yeah, I mean he was evil, but he was very charismatic. He got the whole German people behind him. It's too bad that his goal was what it was, right? Yeah. Yep, fascism alive today, even though people don't exactly understand what it is. We used to call people fascists and communists, thinking it was the same. I don't even think they teach what it. No, they do. They do teach fascism now in school. I always compare everything to when I went to school in the 70s, in the early 80s. Oh, you are the foot guy. Would you make it if I came to London? I don't even have a passport. I do listen to a lot of books by English authors. Things that happened in Brighton, and things that have in Cardiff. I think that's Scotland. So right now I'm listening to a John Mars book. I usually listen to one book every 3 days. Then I change them. Yeah. But now I'm going to have to go back to work. I'm going to have to work 3 or 4 days a week, and I don't know if my body's going to be able to handle it. Maybe I'm going to go to Goodwill and get a wheelchair. I will not take SB. No passport. That you would make thanks for that. So fun. I will not take SB. What is SB? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to think about this. SB. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Oh, I do want to say thank you to everyone who's, if you are here, thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope, God, that was lame. Let me start. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me tonight on this end of the year. And I'll tell you what, man, when you're young, seems like you got your whole future ahead of you, which you do, but it comes fast. It goes fast. You never believe it when you're young. When you're older, you're like, what the heck? What happened? It's like, I can't even believe how fast everything went. And it's not even over yet. It's still got a while to go to the demise. Rhodesia. Oh gosh. Okay. I have no thoughts on Rhodesia except I know what a Rhodesian Ridgeback is. That's a dog that you hope if it sees a deer, just let the leash go because he's going to run off and kill that deer. Those are cool dogs. It's a cool hunting dog. Rhodesia. I have no thoughts on Rhodesia. Please put something in there about Rhodesia and I will look it up. The greatest Europa, the greatest story ever told. Oh God, please. And then the whole, oh my God, all the stuff in Asia. I saw Apocalypse Now. I was very confused, of course. And I saw Platoon. These are very old movies for you youngsters on here. Also confused. All that just very, you know that whole phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? That's a phrase from the military. What happens here stays here. Oh my God, Ryan. I don't have any smelly shoes. I'm so sorry. And I only wear 2 different kinds of shoes. I wear these, my orthopedic house slippers that are I step on because I don't want to bother putting them on, and my Timberland boots. They're not here. Gotta wear the Timberlands. Gotta have non-slip orthopedic soles. Don't want to slip on a smush carrot at school. And now that will I be taking public transportation? I might have to take some public transportation. Then you definitely need to have shoes that you can run in. I do live in the city. You never know. I had someone follow me once. That was kind of scary. Oh, sniffable. All right, this is for Ryan. Here's my, here. Sniff it. Sniff it. Okay, sorry. Okay. They have more sanctions than North Korea. Is Rhodesia a country still? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scream. Is it a country still? I'm embarrassed that I don't know that. See, I love this. Just when you think you know stuff, and then you find out you don't know anything. There's so much to know. And it's cool knowing things. All right, I'm going to have to look into that too. But now I won't have as much time to listen to or watch documentaries because I'll be at school. But I have until, I get to go back on Monday. Because the United States got the poor people at the Social Security office, they're so understaffed and so overworked that, yeah, my whole application was lost. I had to fill out a whole new application to get my widow benefits. I was so excited to find out that I could even get widow benefits. I didn't even know about it until like 2 years ago. It was pretty cool. China, North Korea, and Muslim nations, U.S. are sent back. Said Sunday were under attack from Portugal as well. Portugal? All right. Oh, I know about that song. I didn't know there was a... Okay, I do know that song is supposed to be African. I mean, it is African. They did not use any African instruments in the video. I know that from Pop-Up Video. Pop-Up Video. Learned a lot of trivia on that. That's interesting. Is it a country, though? As a kid, my mom would yell at me if I step on the back of my shoe. Right? Can't stand it. Back of your shoe. Yeah. Well, I had bunions from getting poorly fitted shoes growing up. I had bunions by the time I was 12, so that's not good. And Juan, this is not that kind of strain. And my answer to do I spit or swallow is I always spit out the toothpaste because the fluoride is not good for you to consume. It's good for your teeth. And after you spit, you should not rinse because that gets the fluoride off of your teeth. But it's not that kind of strain. But please subscribe before you leave. I do have bunions. That's why I have to wear the extra wide Timberlands. So my feet are, everything with me is just drama. My bunion is on the side. So my foot is extra wide. Now my sister, they kind of run in the family also. I think also because growing up we always had like the really hard shoes, squish your foot in. My sister has with the bunions that go up. It's so gross. It's like, oh my God, stop wearing open-toed shoes. Cover that up. No one wants to see that. So mean. So my foot at least looks normal from the topographical around the side. They can be quite painful. I'm used to it now. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Can you have surgery on them? Yeah, I was contemplating surgery like when I was 18 because my cousin had surgery on them, but no. Yes, this is an Italian horn. You want to see my bunion? All right. Only because Juan is asking me, and Ryan. Sorry. Let me just check the status of my foot. Oh, she's so sad looking. All right. Here's the back. Can you even see it? Okay, see the bunion? It's curvy. See that? And then I have a bundle of nerves. It's a birth defect or birth malformation that sticks out. See this in my hand? That little bone? I have it in my foot. Besides, you can only wear certain kind of shoes. If it pushes on this, my foot will go to sleep. Life, right? All right, thank you for that free look at my foot. You're welcome. You can join my OnlyFans page. This is a joke, I don't have one, where I display my foot in all different types of yarn. Would people pay for that? Would you pay for that? Put that in the comment. Would you pay to see my foot in different kinds of yarn? I need some money. Just joking. Am I, though? Am I? I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Oh, thank you, Leanne. Oh, yeah, I'm still pretty flexible. It was a long time before I could touch my toes after I got hit by the car. Riding my bicycle by a lady who, after she hit me, said, oh my God, what did I hit? You hit me. You hit me. Anyway, that's how I have money in savings because I received a settlement. So there's so much fuzz from the yarn. Here's my scar. This is where I hit the windshield. It's hard to see. Can you see it? That bled a lot. Thank God I had a helmet on. And thank God she stopped and had insurance. Because it's Phoenix, and a lot of people don't have insurance here. I don't know if that's true of just Phoenix. I think that's true of any big city. Insurance is not even that expensive, but I think also a lot of people drive around with suspended licenses, which is not cool. But anyway. First name, last name, you are confusing me. I don't know how old you are. Are you a young person? And I consider young 40 and younger, 40. And then an older, wait, no, young is like 50. I don't know. I think you're like, if I could be your mom, are you like 40? 40 and under? 45? Anyway, you're very well educated, so I like that, but you seem like an older person, but yet you are talking like you're a young person. It's confusing me. Oh, thank you. You're 27. Wow. Wow. Are you in the military too? That's so interesting that you know that much. Alfredo Gonzalez. Where's that? My foot? Oh, I like to watch the NFL, the Pacific. Oh. Can I move in with you? I would work full-time for free to cut those nails. Oh, all right. You can do my nails. Oops, sorry. I was only in Florida on the National Guard. Well, thank you. So Alfredo is asking where's that. I don't know what you mean by that. And someone wants to live with me. Oh my God, I finally get to live by myself. It's so nice. It's so nice because I'm such a weird person. Not weird. I'm sorry, neurodivergent. No, I really like my space. And as you can tell, I don't even like looking at myself. I can't even really see myself. I don't have my glasses on. I usually look down. I brush my teeth with my eyes closed because I have a thing. I have body dysmorphia. So I think when I'm walking around, I think I still look all like that. And then I walk by a mirror and I'm like, oh God, what happened? Oh, you're fat now. Oh. And then I have a thing with my face. I don't like having my picture taken. I don't like looking at myself. I think I look okay on camera because I'm in good lighting, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't see what other people see. I see unpleasantness. I'm not in. Oh, thank you, Leanne. Thank you for Swanee County. Oh, you're in Florida. Okay, cool. I have my twin brother and my oldest brother live in Florida. And because of my narcissistic mother, none of us are very close because we weren't allowed to be. That's a whole story. Yeah. No. I'm not looking for a roommate. But thank you for your offer to live with me. Thank you so much. Yeah. Every now and then I do contemplate marriage again. Not really. I'm alone. I don't know if anyone else is like a complete loner. Like I do so much better by myself. But I do miss being married. I loved my husband a lot. But even oh my God, when my husband became disabled, he had brain cancer, and was home all the time, just all the time. And sometimes I just look at him like, "Are you here? Can you?" And then I was at work. We switched places. And I would come home. He was just always there. I was used to him always being at work. We used to work together too sometimes. For a long time. He was a cook and I was a waitress. Yeah. I can't believe Rhodesia. I gotta look that up. Now you got my head all going on Rhodesia. For a green card. Oh, okay. All right. I offered to marry a man before I knew about my widow benefits. I was like, hey, man. Not even with my husband. I saw this man. I walked in and I saw him. I was like, oh, it was like little stars and crinkles. That didn't even happen with my husband, just with this man. Punjabi from India. I was like, hey, I'm not doing anything with my status. Why don't you marry me? You can have a green card. And if we're not, you can keep the green card after a year of marriage. If we get divorced, you can keep the green card. He said no. It's because of his religion. Sikh, pretty cool religion. And oh no, James Johnson. Hey, my daughter's on here. Happy New Year. Thank you, daughter. Cook and waitress. Yes, it was. I drive a hard bargain. So it's me. It's my dog there. Hi, daughter. This is the sweater I made by accident because I thought Kylie wanted this color, so I'm keeping it. Your sister never sent me the yarn that she wanted me to use, so she's just going to get black and charcoal from my stash, which takes up a whole closet. Here's your sweater. I can't remember if this is yours or Michaela's. It doesn't matter. They're both pretty much the same. I just have to finish... I have to finish doing the seam. Oh, look how pretty it is. Here, I'll try it on for you. I'm sorry that you're... No, I'm keeping this one. It's so nice and soft. It's really nice and warm, too. It's nice and soft. Okay, this is... and you can decide if you want a collar like this. So you can decide. I could put a button here and a button here, and then you can button up with the collar, or you could just have it loose, whatever you want. Oh, I'm so sorry, you people who have. All right, I'm not bragging or anything, but I kind of am. I have 3 successful adult daughters, and I am very happy that um, that I. Here's my definition of success. No one has a crippling addiction to anything. Um, they all work and pay their own bills. And they all work at jobs that they like, which is a big thing. We have a lot of jobs here in the United States. Anyone who says they can't get a job, unless you live in a very economically depressed area, you can get a job. You just might not like it. It might not pay you enough money, but you can still get one. Okay, I'm sorry. They are nice people. They all work full time, pay their own bills. You're not a strain on the public welfare system. And a strain, I mean, if anyone, and I don't think any of my kids have ever done like food stamps or anything. I have. But the goal is always to get off of it as fast as possible. They're good citizens, they vote, they don't break laws, and they're good, kind people. So I'm very, very happy that I have 3 successful daughters like that. And that my 2 son-in-laws are also equally successful in that I have the same criteria for them. Smart, kind people, they don't break laws, everyone votes, participates in our I don't know if one of them votes, but anyway. Because I'll tell you, it's a great relief as a parent to have kids that don't need you in their life, but want you in their life. So, that's different. So I'm sorry, James Johnson, that you're having problems. You live in a very economically depressed area, and I think culturally it's a rough place to live. As Appalachia, it's beautiful. Oh, and I did crochet the sweaters. Your shoulders. Have never been in a bikini. Oh, this is my. Oh, you should see my legs are super white. My one daughter is so white when she closes her eyes, you can see the veins in her eyes. She's a redhead. She's a gorgeous redhead. All my daughters are physically attractive too. So, but I'm their mom, so I'm not saying everyone's emotionally healthy. Excuse me. Yeah, food stamps, WIC, all that stuff. That's life. What are you gonna do? That's what this. So when I say not a strain on public welfare system, there's some people who just get on the welfare system and just never get off of it. I don't know why you would be on there. I live in Arizona, and you need to be really, really poor to get like a housing voucher. So maybe once you're on there, I can see it would be very hard to go from paying, $150 in rent to having to pay for it all on your own. It's very hard. So I can see that. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But I'll be on Access Insurance again because I just won't be, and it's very hard to go from having to pay for insurance, which I haven't even paid. I worked for a school district, so I had it provided for me. What am I saying? I don't know. The welfare system is there for a reason, but it should not become a lifestyle, because if it becomes a lifestyle, then you just get caught in this very depressing loop. And as someone who was temporarily poor for 20 years, oh my God, it is so stressful to not have money. And only in the last 2 years have I actually had money, extra money. So like I said, I got the settlement for my, when I got hit by a car. I broke my arm. Oh, I'm still here. A male tuxedo cat, yay! Oh, yeah. cats are named after rifles. Oh my God. I love that. That is so cool. That is very, oh my God. That's like one of those, tell me about yourself, and you just name your three cats, and people would know a lot about you. That's fantastic. I love that. Oh, yeah. My little brother who's got a job. Well, that's good. Jail is no fun. Wait a minute. Okay, it's mostly the movie. Oh, my daughter. Thank you. I don't think we've had anyone in our family, in my direct family, who was in jail. My father-in-law served prison time for identity theft. He stole my husband's identity, and that happens a lot more than you think, and that's because he was undiagnosed bipolar. We think because it was undiagnosed, and then he unfortunately choked to death by himself and died tragically. He served his prison time, got out. He died like 6 months later. Anyway, I never met him, so I speak about this like in a very nonchalant way, but I didn't know him, and my husband did not want me to meet him, so I never met him. And but he stole my husband's identity, and that happens a lot to young people because who has your information? Your parents do. So I know there's a lot of, not a lot. I have met a handful of kids who are like, yeah, that's already happened to me. And it's like, oh my, when I used to substitute in high school. That's pretty bad. I don't even know how I got on that topic, but for 25 days for good behavior. Yeah, do what you got to do because jail's bad and prison's even worse. So you got to do what you got to do. You know, people make mistakes, and if you have to serve some time, that's, you know, you should go in, take advantage of whatever resources they have for you in the jail. Take advantage of all that. Try not to get caught up in the drama of people who are, you know, repeat customers, and then get out and, you know, make some good decisions. It's hard. I mean, it's best to avoid that because arrest records, you have to disclose. I have a whole story about that, but I'm not going to tell you. Arrest records, you have to disclose on almost all applications, even if your arrest was not followed up by any court proceedings. And then if you are a convicted felon, jail is usually for misdemeanors, and then prison is for felonies. I say that, but I'm not sure because all the states are different. But like I said, felonies on your record is, it affects your housing, your employment. It's not the end. There's a guy who's J.D. DeLay. Am I saying his name right? He's on here. He is a former felon who is now a motivational speaker. He lives in Florida. I watch him a lot. I wish all young people could watch him at school. All right, we're going to watch this YouTube channel right now. Let's watch this to hear about some prison stories. But he has a lot of good advice. It's just, you know, life is so precarious. You don't know. You can turn things around. But most of the time you can turn things around unless you get caught up in some serious drug gangs. And sometimes you can't get out. And that's a sad life. Sometimes, you know, you literally can't get out. But you can always turn your life around. It's just that, you know, that's a lot of time for some people. That can be 10, 20 years to turn your life around, and that you can't get that time back. So it's better if you can try to not get caught up in that. And that's easier said than done, depending on where you live and your family situation. So, Van Halen. There is. Hot for Teachers is Van Halen. Thank you, Alfredo Gonzalez. He is buff. He was like a stick figure. My brother has like 9 mugshots. That's not good. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you know. Yeah, well, JD, I think, JD's he has an interesting personality. Um, and I think because he is successful because he is a truly reformed person. And I think he did it, and I'm not saying this is bad. Whatever you do to get your life back together, if it's to turn to religion, that's great. But I think because he is a non-religious, I didn't find, maybe he did. I don't know, because I don't watch him all the time, but he's not somebody who's like, oh, I found Jesus and now I better. But I think he truly just figured things out, and his personality is so interesting. What I'm trying to say is he does his videos not necessarily to get subscribers. He just speaks honestly and genuinely, and he resonates with a lot of people. And he is not afraid to be very pro unaliving. The wood chipper for the pedophiles and stuff. That's, it's got some story. And from political views, and I still, he's a Trump supporter, which is perfectly fine. But he's not like an insane person. He's not a crazy Trump. He's just, he supports Trump. He's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. And I was like, that's fine. I still like what he says. I just don't watch clips or whatever that he has on that. So yeah, some people can be, just imagine how much more successful he would have been if he wouldn't have gotten in trouble in the first place. But if he wasn't a felon, would he have been successful? So catch-22, right? Would he have been in? Did I say that right? That's what that's what I'm saying. He's in the right place at the right time. He's got the internet, and then he's got this background that is just marketable right now. You know what I mean? It's like my brothers are all into computers. They're all programmers to a certain, they're all into computers. Just if they would have been born 50 years earlier, 50 years later, different story. But, it's the right place at the right time. So. Oh, good. You should say, you look like my neighbor. Oh, maybe I am your neighbor. Manano Demon. Sultan. Hi. Okay, let me go. Oh my gosh, my eyes. Yes. Van Halen did Hot for Teacher, and then the Jay Giles band did Teenage Centerfold. Okay. Hi to Sultan Shandel. I don't know how to say it. You look like my neighbor, Magnano Demon. Demon? Are you French? Okay. You look like I voted for Kamala. I did vote for Kamala. I voted for the Democratic Party. I am disappointed. I'm disappointed with the extreme people that are lefts. And I'm going to say it's the LBGQ, whatever it's called. The extremists. They really, I think, scared a lot of people into voting conservative. I'm all for people having rights and stuff, but that turned into a whole bullying situation. And then the out of control trans thing with the children. Oh my God. So sad. What happened to a whole bunch of kids being surgically mutilated. So I'm, like I said, I vote with my party, and I am Democratic. So I would have voted for anyone who was a Democratic nominee. That's just how it is. But I'm more conservative. I'm not like a whole left. Oh, God, these people make me insane. The whole woke thing. Look, I'm so embarrassed and ashamed of all the people on the left that are, oh my God, embarrassing. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jimmy Carter. Oh, he died. Yeah. Let's see. I'm Democratic. My one son-in-law is Libertarian. but he votes Republican. My daughter and her husband, I think, are both Republican. My oldest daughter. My middle daughter, I think, is Democratic. I'm not sure. And my youngest daughter, I think, is definitely Democratic. So we all vote differently. We all vote, but we all vote different. We're not united. We stand. It's just we have different beliefs. Just depends on what party supports your position, right? So if you are, most people who hunt or own weapons are going to be Republican because they're very pro guns. I'm a pro-gun person too, but I just think it needs more regulation. I had to drink some water. I'm still drinking this coffee from 3 hours ago. So, okay, let's see. What's a nat sock? What's a nat sock? Natural sovereign. Are you a sovereign citizen? You can't possibly be a sovereign citizen. You were in the middle of, maybe you are. You understand probably. My parents were really interesting because they never talked about politics. I mean, at all. My dad just watched C-SPAN all the time. I'm like, what are you watching? He's like, oh, they're voting. I'm like, oh my God, that's so boring. This is before cable and the internet and stuff. It's like, oh my God. We watched some. No, this was cable. I'm sorry, but this is before the internet. I was like, you're watching C-SPAN for the live action of their voting, and it takes for hours for them to vote. I'm like, oh my God. But my parents never talked about politics. They never, participated in any kind of, volunteering, or we didn't have a flag up. Even though my dad was a vet, we didn't have a flag up. We didn't have, buttons, nothing. The only way I know that my mom was a Republican was because once I heard her calling my father a Democrat, and then they were just laughing. They were having fun. And I always thought my mom was Republican then. And then I found out she was like, oh, I was only Republican for a little bit. And then she became Democrat. So I don't know. Some families are very, very into the, into politics and stuff. My family wasn't. So did I vote like my parents? I was libertarian for a while when I was in college. And then I became a Democrat because I am a pro-life person. Please don't unsubscribe. I'm pro-choice, not pro-life, pro-choice. So I always voted Democrat because the president puts people on the Supreme Court. And if you are pro-choice and you want to vote Democrat, because if you vote Republican, which is what happened with Trump, then the right to control your own health choices will be possibly taken away or regulated. So yeah. I put my coffee in a mason jar and made a big ass scoop of peanut butter. Oh, that sounds kind of good. Peanut butter coffee. Oh, that sounds kind of good. I want to ask you, do you have a neurological disorder that makes it difficult for you to swallow? My brother had, I only know this because swallowing is neurological. And my brother had, it's a whole story. My brother had not 1, not 2, not 3, but like 15 strokes because he had an allergic reaction to a blood thinner. And he had to learn how to, not learn, but they weren't sure if he was going to be able to swallow again and have to continue to have a feeding tube when he was recovering because he lived. He's still alive now. And sometimes you could buy, for people who have difficulty swallowing, you could buy a product that makes the liquid thicker so that you can swallow completely without aspirating into your lungs and getting pneumonia and then dying because you choked on your coffee. So I'm just wondering if you did that. That's how my brain works. I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh, okay, I get you. I have almond butter because I'm bougie. And ground nuts. Oh, because we're talking Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer. He just died. Oh, Jimmy Carter, during the energy crisis, when they stopped lighting up the Christmas tree at the White House. See that much. I don't remember that from the 70s. Oh, a whole bunch of fireworks going off again. Happy New Year. So I have almond butter because tree nuts are supposed to be better for you than ground nuts. So I have some almond butter. And I just bought some coconut flakes and oatmeal, not instant oatmeal. I'm gonna make some of those no bake cookies. It'll taste like an almond joy bar is what I'm trying to say. It'll taste like a candy bar. I'm sorry, should I say bourgeois? I'm saying it wrong. Every time I say something, when I'm trying to speak a different language, it always comes out wrong. I don't usually say that, but sometimes I do say like the almond butter, because almond butter is like, excuse me, like 5 times as expensive as peanut butter. So, yeah. I'm actually more a can't even say the word, pro. That's just from the French Revolution, I think. Oh my gosh. Is my daughter gone? I just say fancy for pizza. Fancy schmancy. Yep. Oh my goodness. All right, friends. This has been a fantastic live stream. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you to First Name, Last Name. I appreciate you being here and giving me some, hey, I'm here, but I'm looking for a movie to watch. As when? Do you remember me? Kind of. Bye. I love you. Goodbye. Do you know cats can fart? I've heard a cat fart because they sleep right next to me. I think everything can fart. Do you know that elephants are the only mammals that don't keep their reproductive thing on the outside? They keep their gonads on the inside. Isn't it fascinating? I know it's not as fascinating as cats farting, but I thought I'd throw that out there. I do like watching the videos when you have a cow with bloats and the farmer just and the gas comes out and you can hear it. And sometimes they light it on fire. I like watching those. Those are good. So, all right, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Please, first name, last name. Tell me it's time to watch Marching to Zion. I don't know what that's about, but it sounds something about World War II and going to Jerusalem? I don't know. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your evening. Happy New Year in advance. Happy New Year to you who are already in the future. And my daughter, tell me what movie you're going to watch. Maybe I'll watch it too. Probably not, though. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to go. I need to get some water and get my, oh my God, don't look at the messy house. Oh, don't go in the shadow. Okay. Your wound is oh. Thank you. I love you too, my daughter. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I'm actually going to go now. Okay, okay, goodbye. Thank you for being here.